Are you ready?
Before I got money, I was in the truck kicking doors, and I'm just being honest. If you want smoke, then we cook up like an omelet, I'm just being honest. Throw me a 60 if I go to Magic or Honest, I'm just being honest. I keep a sticker or blicky in case it gets sticky, I'm just being honest. She know that I'm with it, I'm having this chicken, this trickin', I'm just being honest. Who really get to be honest? Hey, Punch be giving, be honest.
Hey, everybody.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back to your Wrassle Twins Podcast.
We
We're so excited to come see you guys tonight. Doing something very special for Black History Month series I'm excited about. We're going to take some time to talk about, each week we're going to talk about a different Black superstar and how they elevated the business of professional wrestling.
Yeah, like El Grande Americano.
El Grande Americano is the greatest one of all time.
Yeah, man. Greatest black
We saw-
wrestler, black luchador of all time.
That was played by a German and a white guy and an American.
No, that's
White
almost.
American.
That's almost, man.
I was almost.
Yeah.
Man, I thought it was Kali. I thought it was an Indian American.
We both
So,
right.
Royal Rumble has come and gone. And one of my favorite things about the Rumble was our friend, somebody we got to meet at WrestleK, Powerhouse Hobbs,
Man.
now known as Royce Keys,
Royce
made a
Keys.
dominant debut.
Yeah, he did, man. He looked amazing, man. And I mean, who am I? I mean, I knew he was going to look amazing. I just really hope and pray that WWE does well by him and that he is, mid-card, main card, whatever, but let him get his shine.
Oh yeah. I told my wife and daughter how crazy it was that just a couple months ago, this man came to our table and shook our hands and said hello to us. And now he's on the biggest stage of them all.
You know, the first time I met him, it was kind of the same way too, because I wasn't, standing in line to meet him. I was standing around waiting on Travis and a couple other guys to get done with their pictures and stuff. I was done with everything I was going to do that day. I had met Mick Foley for the first time and I was very, very excited. So anyway, I'm just standing there. He just walks up to me and we start having a conversation. And he's just down to earth, like real chill. That was the first time I met him. And the second time I met him was with you. And I just told him I appreciated him. I was like, I know it's going to sound weird, but I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, super humble guy.
Yeah.
We were cheering for him, even though we lost to a Cowboy at Blood and Guts, we were still pulling for him.
Yeah.
So also Obafemi had a phenomenal main roster.
Yeah.
Just coming out number one, to last as long as he did, to dominate the way he did.
Yeah.
I love Braun Breaker, but Oba's the future.
Yeah, he is, man. And you see what he did to the War Machine on Raw?
I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm happy about it because yes, he deserves to look that dominant.
Yeah.
However, you're also saying that our former tag team champions can't beat up one guy, especially when one of them's 300 pounds and the other one's no small man either.
I don't know, man. You saw the way he threw them up in the air.
Oh God, yeah, like the fall. What is it? The fall from grace power bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I always love the pop-up power bomb, especially when KO did it.
Yeah.
But something about when Obafemi does it, I'm glad KO changed his finisher.
Yeah, man. And I think that Oba with his because he did the same thing in track and field that I did. Shot put, discus.
You can tell.
Yeah.
The man hasn't had a carb in 20 years.
No, you can tell he had a carb because he's huge, but he also he's not like cut like a Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he's bulky.
Yeah, he's bulky. But yeah, man, if I'm trying to get my body like anybody, I'm trying to get mine like Oba.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to get like the Ivar look going on. Like I'm still chunky, but like dangerous chunky. You know what I'm saying?
Dangerous chunky. Well, you already look dangerous chunky to me. I wouldn't try you. Well,
if you like,
would. It depends on the day.
If you like dangerous chunky authors, we have Why We Love Pro Wrestling, an eternal love affair of sports entertainment, written by me, Nathaniel Wright, forward by this handsome man to my side.
The greatest
virtually
on the internet. Oh,
and I just dropped my whole stuff that I'll have to pick up later. So
oh no.
It's all good.
Paul.
But we are super excited. Speaking about chunky and dangerous, can we talk about Mark Henry? If you ever please watch this. If you ever hear this, please don't kill me. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, today.
The world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Like, that wasn't just a nickname.
Mm-mm.
This man was,
he literally
probably still is.
Power lifter.
Like, the man's what, in his 50s now?
Yeah.
Let's see. Born June 12th, 1971 in the little town of Silsbee, Texas.
And he a
Another
Gemini, so
Texas great
I rock with him.
along the same lines as Booker T and Stevie Ray, both from Texas as well.
Yeah.
Booker T, who we may talk about here in a few weeks. In his early life, Joe, and also, growing up in poverty and stuff, he also faced adversity with dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
Something you would never think, because if you hear Mark Henry speak and read now, he's one of the most intelligent guys you can really come across from wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, he is that smart. He's got a mind on him that not many people have, but he battled with dyslexia coming up in his early years, and he found a love for powerlifting. Became his outlet to release. Like, he got picked on, he got bullied, so he took that anger, took that hurt, and turned it into lifting. For Christmas, he was asked what he wanted from his mom, and he said he wanted a weight set.
Well, I'm
So she
grateful
got
for the
him
bullies.
weights.
I'm grateful for the bullies that pushed him there.
Feed the hate.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry really, really grew from that. He was the youngest man to ever squat 900 pounds. I want to make sure I emphasize that.
A ton.
900
Might as well have been a ton.
pounds. You could put me and Big Daddy Joe together, and you would still not have 900 pounds.
Right.
Mark Henry squatted that at a young age, I think 14 years old, and he was also the youngest total weight of 2,336 pounds. That is Herculean strength. That is the kind of strength that they wrote about in the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah. He has a strength of 6 men, probably. Like,
this is Goliath.
Yeah.
Like, side story here, I remember watching on a documentary one time with the Big Show talking about how strong Mark Henry was, and the Big Show was not a small man, 7'2", 500 pounds. He said Mark grabbed his shoulder one time to get to a photographer that took a picture he didn't like, and he grabbed the photographer's camera, smashed it just like this in one hand. and the Big Show turned around and looked at him and said, Mark, if you ever grab me like that again, I'm going to have to kill you. He said, I have never, as a giant, been grabbed like that by a grown man and felt weak.
And Mark is 6'4", so he's not a short guy.
No, he's not a little man at all.
He's not little, yeah. But think about it. He's grabbing 7-footers and just tossing them to the side.
Just could not imagine this kind of strength. He won gold medals in international powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
And he also competed in the 1992 and 1996 Olympics. Also competing in the 1996 Olympics was Kurt Angle. We'll talk about him here in a little bit. He ties into the story in a way that I think really, really emphasizes how this ties into Black History Month.
Shout out
and he
to
was signed. Kurt Angle, the GOAT, as far as I'm concerned. Best to ever do it.
Best in the ring, that's for sure. And on the mic, I mean, gosh, where's
he got
mic
sexy
here?
Kurt over.
Yeah.
He got like so much so, like, I twisted my ankle a couple years ago.
Yeah.
On a curb. That curb to this day is still called Sexy Kurt because it made my ankle hurt.
Man, I guess the snow today, when I was taking out my trash cans, and I stepped in some snow, and then it went toot toot, and my ankle went. I was like, that's Kurt Angle snow. That's a Kurt Angle snow.
Made your ankle hurt.
Yep.
And he was leading into why we love him in pro wrestling. He was WWE's first real attempt at turning a true Olympian into a professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So right after the Olympics in 1996 is when Mark Henry is signed and debuts for WWF at the time, now WWE. And he is pushed heavily, but it was very clear that he was not ready yet.
Yeah.
Leaned heavily on gimmicks and spectacle. Yes, you could tell this man was a powerhouse just by looking at him, but it's just something was clicking. You couldn't click with the fans. And it's like they didn't tap into his true potential as a monster heel.
Well, that's true. Eddie Guerrero said it best. He said that if I looked like you, there is nothing that anybody would be able to say to me or take from me.
No.
Like, and Eddie was mad with Mark. Like, I need you to have the powerhouse mindset, just like the powerhouse of your body. Like, Eddie was something else, man.
If he could take the power and stuff, because see, here's the thing: Mark Henry has always been charismatic. He showed it in the Olympics. He showed it in those powerlifting competitions. The man oozed charisma.
Yeah.
Like
And I
he
met him
was.
once too, actually, at
Oh yeah,
Galaxy Con one time. Hmm.
I have not met the world's strongest man yet. It is on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah, he's a very nice person.
Also, Creative had never had a strongman Olympic level powerlifter in their hands, and they didn't know what to do with him. This is the same time frame that Mick Foley's coming into fray, and they have this awesome feud with The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels is still putting on great matches. Bret Hart's still in the ring and everything. They didn't know how to book somebody as legit as
Yeah.
Mark Henry, and he hadn't been given time to grow in developmental. So, you weren't given time to develop. What comes next? Injuries and inconsistency.
Yeah.
If you don't learn how to do it right, you're going to get hurt, and you can't be consistent if you're hurt all the time. Mark Henry was signed to a 10-year, multi-million-dollar deal before anything like this was ever heard of in pro wrestling. Like, he set the bar high.
Hmm.
And it was getting to the point where WWE saw him as an overpaid asset because they couldn't get an ROI. And despite his raw talent, it seemed like the direction was unclear. He became the learning curve. And unfortunately, Mark Henry had to suffer for a little while. And what they learned from how they treated Mark Henry is how Kurt Angle succeeded.
That's true.
Mark Henry walked and crawled so Kurt Angle could run. Because see, where Mark Henry was struggling because they didn't give him time, they took Kurt Angle, who was signed in 98.
Hmm.
He didn't show up till 1999, so he had time to develop. Mark was signed and then thrown on TV.
Yeah.
You cannot do that to anybody. I don't care if you're a news anchor.
Yeah, you got to develop people. You got to develop people.
Especially in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
The raw strength of Mark Henry is dangerous in the ring if you don't know how to control it.
Right. Yeah.
And WWE learned from Henry's early missteps, where they didn't rush develop. They were protected Kurt Angle's legitimacy, and they let his athleticism speak to the credibility. And it just didn't work for Mark because he wasn't given that time, which we see time and time again for a lot of black talent even now.
Hmm.
They're not given that time to develop and cultivate characters, say down in NXT and stuff, or even in other companies, and they're pushed to the moon because they're popular, but they haven't been given a chance to show legitimacy and credibility, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The same way that other talents have that ability.
Well, we can go down that route if we want. About why that is, I think, like
I think it's a built-in monster in pro wrestling that we don't talk about a lot. We're told not to talk about it. In doing research for this and a series I've been doing on TikTok on Black History Month, I've really, really noticed that wrestling has not really been kind to a lot of black talent over the years.
Yeah. It's the natural talent and athleticism, but you gotta train the rest of it.
You got to make sure it's just like any other sport. If the intangibles are there, that's great.
Yeah.
But you got to train the good habits in there too.
Right.
So that's about as far as I wanted to take it. But I've just noticed in studying and doing research, especially on Mark Henry on this, it's wild how they treated those two talents completely different.
I still love Sexual Chocolate. That was the
That's where we were going, buddy. Now, there are some things that would not fly in 2026 with Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have flown today.
Now, I think China should have given Mark Henry the chance.
But he's the only wrestler that impregnated an elderly woman.
And that elderly woman gave birth to a hand.
Talk to the hand, baby.
And this, why would you give? We sit here and we're talking about how tough and legitimate Mark Henry is, but in the same sentence, we're like, oh yeah, he got Mae Young pregnant and she gave birth to a hand. This happened. This is canonical in pro wrestling on WWE TV. Mark Henry is the father of a hand. And again, we've talked about it time and time again.
While he was fighting over her with viscera.
Yes. Mark Henry is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, Mae Young and Mae Young too. Yeah. Because Mae Young, she would tell Mark Henry when they would have to kiss, she would be like, lay it in there. And Mae, we've talked about how tough she was back in the day. You did not tell Mae Young.
No, you don't.
I miss Mae Young.
Yeah, man. Listen, RIP.
Gone too soon.
Yeah. She was old even back then, but man, she was a gem,
She was special.
Yeah. Also, being a part of the Nation of Domination as well.
with
And they
Farouk.
yeah, the Root, man. The Root is the Nation. And I'm a huge fan of the Nation of Domination. Farouk is like top tier to me as far as wrestling. He doesn't get as many flowers as he deserves either. But think about it. Like, he was in there with The Rock and D'Lo Brown, which we don't talk about D'Lo Brown a lot, but that man and his head
I
movement,
was
bro.
I was thinking the same thing about D'Lo because like nobody gives that man the flowers he deserved. But he was great,
He was a
great
company man.
character, great in ring.
Yeah,
Went to TNA and did some great things even behind the scenes. Just I can't do the.
I can't do it either. I'm trying, but
But he was money. D'Lo Brown was money.
I just hurt my head doing that. Jesus.
Yeah, I would sling my headset across the room. But Mark Henry was almost fired in about 05, 06 too, coming back to the money and the ROI and everything. And this is when Eddie Guerrero had the conversation with him. And I think this is when the best time of his career started.
hmm
In 06, you remember the ECW revival?
Yeah,
After Big Show and Bobby Lashley, who do they call to hold that world title?
Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
And he came back. He was leaner. He was meaner. He wasn't kissing Mae Young. He wasn't, chasing China. He wasn't being sexual chocolate anymore. It was no comedy. It was all monster
All
right
Extreme
there.
Championship Wrestling.
It was the perfect run for all the faults of WWE CW.
hmm
They got Mark Henry right, and he had that whole mentality is I'm just going to hurt somebody.
Right, and I loved
And
it.
I love that's one thing I did love about the early part of it. As it went on, it kind of got less and less entertaining. But
hmm
when WWE brought back ECW, it kind of gave new life to certain people. It gave new life to Mark Henry, the Big Show. That's actually kind of what kicked off the Big Show losing weight and being better later
Yeah.
on in his career. Matt Hardy got some shine there. So I mean,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My favorite Matt Hardy was V1 with his Mattitude follower, his little MFer Shannon Moore. That was his nickname, Mattitude follower, the little MFer.
The Lord,
But he wasn't a novelty act anymore. He was the monster he was meant to be.
yeah.
And I think ECW kind of saved him in a sense to show he was value added to the company.
Yeah. But he needed that time away. Ohio Valley Wrestling?
OV Dub.
Yeah. Got some more time there after leaving WWE or whatever they called it back then. And
It was WW something.
It was WW something. It wasn't WWW that. But he went over to Ohio Valley Wrestling, and when he went, it was just he teamed up, he learned, he went and that was his developmental. So we can give a special shout out to OV Dub, for his development. So when he came back, he could be who he was, like, and not just a gimmick, not just an entrance or anything like that, but like legitimately like who he was meant to play.
Oh, absolutely.
Character he was meant to play.
This is when Big Papa Vince gave him a now you get it moment. Like, this is what I wanted you to be. But then the cynic that I am, is like, then why did you give him a bunch of bull crap?
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. I think that is right. Mark Henry in a nutshell. I'm going to figure it out because I'm going to save my career. And I think this, even though it was, 10 years after he debuted?
Yeah.
That's when he was honed in. He was seasoned. He was ready.
Because sometimes we gotta tell these young cats, man. Sometimes it'll take you 10 years.
Yeah, you're not just gonna hop on and get it day one, no matter what you're doing. Professionally, personally, relationships, everything you want to do. If you want to be successful, it takes work.
Yep.
Mark Henry is a living, breathing testament to that.
Right.
It takes work to get what you want. So
after the
ECW run, he showed up on SmackDown and
smacked it down.
Not quite Hall of Pain yet, but his mark was there.
Yeah.
Every feud with Mark Henry felt special. Did he win every match? No, but he didn't have to. He made everybody look good, and he wasn't relying on other people anymore to put on a good show.
Yeah.
He was doing it too. You could tell just the difference, the way he, first off, hate to talk about bodies because I think you can be any kind of body and be successful. I think Viscera had a great wrestling career and he looked the way he looked. Yokozuna had a great wrestling career and he looked the way he looked. But Mark Henry really took it seriously. Like, he still had the dad bod, the gut and everything.
Yeah.
But like, it was just a lot more toned in. He had a lot more mobility. He was moving better through this time because he was just taking better care of himself. And also somewhere in this time frame, I think it was 0506, I may have skipped over this point, he told Vince McMahon he wanted to go back and compete strongman.
Yeah.
And you remember this story? Vince McMahon looked at him and said, I just want you to know, I don't have a job for the second strongest man in the world. And Mark Henry wrestled actively until 2013. So what's that tell you?
Right.
After 10 years away from powerlifting, he comes back and still dominated.
Right. The strongest man in the world. Man. Could you imagine lifting 900 pounds, squatting that much?
The most I got was just a little over 6.
Yeah, same thing. Right.
And
around
if I were to try that now, my back would just
right.
I ain't even going to try. My knees would go this way.
Yeah, your knees aren't supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
You're not a gazelle.
But when you think of a pink salmon jacket, what do you think about?
I think about me and my pink salmon jacket for Easter, but secondly, I think
Do you have a pink salmon jacket?
I do.
Really?
I do. Yep.
I need to get a pink salmon jacket.
Yeah, so we can twin.
So, well, side story, when I started teaching and preaching when I was 17, 18, I went to Rose's because Rose's used to sell suits for the man of size, and I had bought a all white suit. It came with the vest, the pants, the jacket. I wore a black shirt with it with a red and black tie. Man, I thought I looked fresh. I looked like Trick Willie with my lemon pepper steppers. And my wife, the first time she saw me, she said, "Is that Boss Hog?" I never got rid of a suit so quickly.
Took all the wind out your sails, man.
I thought I looked fresh, but I did not. If I was fresh, it was funky fresh,
Boss
and not the
Hog.
cool funky, but like the smelly funky.
Tomorrow when I text you in the morning, I'm gonna be like, "Morning."
You gonna
Boss
text me and
Hog."
say good morning, Boss Hog?
Yeah.
Now, there's probably some GIFs out there. Is it GIF or GIF?
I think it's GIF, but I say GIF because that makes sense.
I say GIF, but I want to say GIF because when I hear GIF, I think of peanut butter.
I think the person who made it said it was GIF. So, the person
they're
who
wrong.
invented it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's so many songs out that the people who wrote it sing it wrong because that's not, no. It's 7:00 on the dot. I'm in my drop top cruising the streets.
All right, Usher. I was going to sing Are You Gonna Take Me Home Tonight? I was going to sing Fat Bottom Girls by Queen.
Oh.
But the world is not ready for my horrible singing voice. So
sing it,
in 2011, we had the pink salmon jacket. Mark Henry comes out. I believe I got my year right, 2011. Mark Henry comes out. And he's going to retire, Joe. He's going to hang up the boots. John Cena, the man who can't be seen, comes down to shake his hand and congratulate him on a career. And then Mark Henry drops John Cena with the world's strongest slam in the middle of the ring, putting a stamp on the statement. He said, "I ain't done yet."
I know you loved it because at the time you were a Cena hater.
Oh, I was a Cena hater back then. And after the ECW run with Mark Henry, you could not tell me Mark Henry wasn't great. Like, I was sold completely. I loved Mark Henry in the Attitude Era, but like this Mark Henry, I love because I love big beefy boys slapping beef.
Man meat.
That's on the menu, baby.
On a shirt coming soon.
Yes, sir. 100% grade A Wrassle Twins certified
man meat.
And everybody wants to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, but Mark Henry was inducting people into his Hall of Pain. Aside from Kane from 97 to 99 and maybe 2003 Kane, I think this is the best monster heel run in wrestling history.
Right. And him and Kane, I think people forget, they wrecked everything. Like they were they were a tsunami sweeping through. Like And that's what I want to see from Obafemi so bad.
It's going to happen. If they beat up Eric and Ivar like that, who are two guys that WWE thinks highly of,
yeah,
but you can't tell. But they got some big stuff planned
at
for
least
them.
at least they think of them more highly than they think of American Made
or the Street Profits.
Ooh, that hurts my feelings.
It makes me look. I'm so glad they helped out NXT this weekend.
Yeah,
I think they could have featured on the Rumble somehow. I know the roster's bloated. You got too many people on the rosters anyway. Both of the major companies do, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
However,
because AEW is filling out the same way.
Also, sidebar, our friend that's never met us, but we know we're going to be best friends one day, Tommaso Ciampa, debuted and had his debut match on Collision and beat Mark Briscoe for the TNT title.
Yep, on his debut.
That is a statement.
And who else did that?
A TNT title on day one?
No, who won a title on day one? Their very first debut match in AEW. At the time, they called her Sasha Banks.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
TBS title. That's right.
Yep. Let me find out I'm stumping you on something.
You stumped me on something. Because you got to remember, there was that gap where I wasn't watching a lot of AEW.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie to you guys.
Still pay attention. At the time, they were struggling with the storytelling and stuff like that, but the wrestling was always good. So I would always, check out some of the matches and things like that. And I love my flippy doodah. So,
well, I don't think we're going to get a lot of flippy doodah with MJF coming up soon, but we're going to talk about that on another show. This is not meant for here because we got to give all the love to Mark Henry.
Yeah, but before we move on, I wanted to say something. I was right about AJ Styles.
I know. I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't want to be right.
Because, you didn't have to say you told me so. You told me so. But you didn't have to say you told me so. Yes, real quick, because I hope we can maybe talk about AJ Styles long form eventually. I want to wait until see what happens, because is he really retired or is he just done with WWE? Let's wait.
But
I've heard two sides of the story.
Yeah.
And if AJ's really done, I want him to be, because he deserves that after this career. Anyway, thank you, AJ, for the past 20-something years of greatness.
You're absolutely phenomenal.
I wasn't ready to lose within 2 months John Cena and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah.
So 3 legends, just.
But like Hunter Hearst Helmsley says every single year, and I'm gonna keep calling him that. Like Hunter Hearst Helmsley says every year, it's a new era.
If it's a new era, then deliver us a new era, because I'm tired of the same old stuff.
But he says it's a new era every year.
Technically, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we still got CM Punk and Roman Reigns in top spots. We still have likely Cody Rhodes is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania again against Drew McIntyre. I don't see a lot of change. I think this year's WrestleMania is going to be fun.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptically optimistic.
Well, like I said on my TikTok, they're going for the thing that makes sense and is going to get them the most ROI. I mean, Roman is the biggest star they have,
Roman and Punk is money.
Yeah.
And it's the closest thing we're going to get this year, especially with Rollins being out, to F you dude, let's die feud.
Yeah, exactly. And
those are my favorite kind of feuds. You don't get a lot of those anymore.
Right. And it's like when Marvel decided to cast Robert Downey Jr. as, Dr. Doom. Like it's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see how the story plays out with that, by the way.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope that it's going to be really good.
Because it's going to be interesting. Like, is he still Tony Stark, or?
I want to talk about it, but then we talk about something completely different.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. So
shout out to Canada at the Movies.
Canada at the Movies. Our buddy Travis. You get to see Joe. You get to see Miss D. You get to see Mitch. You get to see all these cool Maxton.
Yeah.
Maxton. I'm so sorry, dude.
Phillip.
Maxton and Phillip.
Yeah.
Great. Every now and then, very rarely, because I don't get a lot of time to dedicate to movies because of wrestling. You get to see my pretty face too. I've done a couple movies there.
Yeah. Mr.
We're everywhere.
Mr.
All over the internet.
But
so 2011, Mark Henry wins the world title. All that to get back to here.
Right.
In 2011, Mark Henry wins the World Heavyweight title. And I feel like winning the title, his feud with John Cena, he was legitimized as a main event star.
Mm-hmm.
He was feared, he was respected, and he was believable. Who in that time, wrestler or not, would have wanted to come face to face with Mark Henry?
Sheamus.
Listen, low-key, Sheamus is one of my all-time favorites. I ain't even going to
He's an
lie.
all-time great. So I had to... He's an all-time great.
Anytime, like every time I've seen Sheamus live, I just like go ballistic. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
He's just got an energy. I don't see how anybody can hate on Sheamus.
I could
Mayo
see
and ketchup.
Yeah, I could see how, because some people just don't know the greatness that's in front of them.
Oh, yeah. Some people are so tribalistic. If somebody works for 3 letters, they get upset.
Right.
Because let's face it, I just want to say this real quick.
Say it.
Just because a wrestler works for another company doesn't mean that other company don't like them. Just like when you leave a job and go to another job and you're still friends with somebody that works for that old company, guess what? Those guys are still friends too. One of my favorite things to see this past weekend was all the AEW talent giving love to Royce Keys in his debut at the Rumble. Did you see that?
I did.
That was just absolutely beautiful. Just like, hey, man, good job. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling is, right? It's a family for not just the fans, because we're all family. We don't have fans. We have friends and fam. And those guys are too. They're a brotherhood, sisterhood, you know. And just like in family, sometimes you don't get along.
Yeah.
But you still support each other, take care of each other.
It's like if you leave a church, you can still talk to some of the people that you was
exactly. It's not always.
It's not a gang.
It's not always animosity. Sometimes it's just, you know, you need a better fit for you and your family.
Yeah.
You know, I don't look into contracts that much. I try not to, because it's not my business. I don't want nobody knowing what I make. I don't need to know what you make, you know.
That's very libertarian of you.
That's the way it is. That's what, you know how I am.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to say this loud and clear because it's tax season. So excuse me. Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft.
So I'm gonna pin that. That's gonna be the main line. So after 2013, Mark's scaling it down. He goes to being a WWE producer and a backstage mentor, something that a lot of people didn't think he could do. But coming from talent that worked with him, said he was incredible at it.
And I could see him being that because of all that he went through in order, like he had to go, then leave without knowing whether or not he'd ever be able to come back and then come back better than ever. Yeah. So he has the experience to be a mentor. That's for sure.
A great one. I think anybody that lessons apparently. It's kind of like the thing
that's
where a lot of people.
Not actually, because I put on my lotion.
Yeah, you put on your lotions. People hate on a lot of the older wrestlers when they start getting online or saying, hey, maybe this isn't too smart. Maybe you shouldn't do it this way. It's because they lived it. Yeah. It's because they don't want to see you die in the ring.
Exactly.
It's because they want to make sure, like, everybody hated on Van Vader before he passed because he was like, maybe we should slow down on some of the crazy risks we're taking. Yeah. And yeah, Vader was notorious for not liking flippy doodads. That's neither here nor there. A lot of it was because, hey, man, you can have a great match and not do this every single time you go to the ring.
Right. Which is
we
why
love Darby Allin.
Scares the mess out of me, bro.
We were going the exact same way every time. We love Darby Allin on this channel so much. Great talent. Seems like a great dude.
Yeah.
But dude, it's okay. When Pac suplex, like, I thought the flaming table spot, I thought the glass was crazy, but for some reason it hurt me 10 times more just seeing the man take that suplex from Pac onto the steel steps and his back hit the didn't land flat on the top. It just took the whole steps.
Took the step. Right, the jagged parts.
No. I bet you his chiropractor makes really good money.
Listen, I was talking about if he goes to the hospital, he better be going to the hospital in Canada, because otherwise his bills.
AEW has insurance. So.
I know they do, but still, like, man.
I mean, to be fair, WWE didn't historically offer insurance, but according to what a lot of the old timers say when you listen to them talk now, if you got hurt in the ring or doing something in a spot that you were asked to do, most of the time Vince would pay for your medical care and you'd still get your salary before you came back. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Not a lot of for all the faults Vince McMahon has, and God knows we know the allegations and everything, but a lot of promoters have done a lot worse to talent.
Facts.
So,
yep.
He's helped develop younger and bigger talent, and help a lot of the young guys talked about how he's helped them focus on the realism and psychology that goes into wrestling, which to
And
me
what's
is
that
something
psychology like? Because I mean, I think about it, right? You can be good at something, right? You can be good at whatever spots you're doing. You can be good at the flippy doodads, whatever. But that moment that you have doubt in your mind that you'll be able to pull it off, that's when you get hurt.
well, that and just the way you make the match, the ring psychology of making the match makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts was famous for his promos.
Mm-hmm.
In an era where you had Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, all these guys yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs, Jake the Snake would look you dead in the eye through the camera and talk just like this. But up here, you were sold and you hung on to every single word he said. You believed it.
Yeah.
Because it's the way he delivered it. Mark Henry is one of those guys that could probably teach anybody. Yes, you're doing the slams and all these moves, but why?
Right.
I work in manufacturing. One of the things we have to do when a safety event occurs or something is called a 5 why. So you have to list down everything, and once you get to the third why, you start running out of why statements, and you're starting to guess, and you have to get really granular to understand what you're digging into. That's the art of professional wrestling. Because it's one thing to have a match. It's like, yeah, I want your belt, or yeah, I don't like you, but why?
Yeah.
And I can see
Why?
Mark 5 whys of pro wrestling coming soon to Amazon.
I keep
And
giving you
then
so many ideas. I need to stop.
I'm telling you, man, in 2018, Mark Henry got the biggest honor that a WWE superstar can get, and he was inducted into their Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And the speech he gave was beautiful. Just the attention to detail with every word he said. You would not believe the career this man's had, and you didn't think about it till he was standing on that stage, and you're like, if anybody here this year deserves it, it's Mark Henry.
Yeah. He was, I mean, he is an amazing person, like a great man. I recommend that wherever he is, if he's at a convention, a GalaxyCon, a WrestleCade, that you stand in that line and get a picture and get a
Absolutely.
autograph.
He has a legacy that's lasted.
Yeah.
And he matters so much to wrestling because not very many wrestlers are able to succeed as a legitimate Olympic athlete and world champion. Mark Henry's done it, and Kurt Angle's done it.
Yep.
That's it. Gable Stevenson didn't work out. A lot of other Olympians that came through didn't work out because you got to have the right mindset to make it in professional wrestling.
Ronda Rousey.
She kind of made it, but it kind of got a little you know.
Yeah.
But she's legit. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
And he paved the way for future legitimate athletes like a Kurt Angle. And then you got a lot of collegiate football players, track stars, gymnasts, all these other kind of wrestlers coming up through NXT and developmental and doing what they're doing today.
Yeah, shout out to like Bianca Belair, track
She was
star.
a track star.
Yeah, out in Tennessee.
What's that song? She's a runner. She's a track star.
Yeah, that's
Is that how it goes?
She's a runner. She's a track star.
See, I know ball. I know a little bit.
Yeah.
I can be a hip hop head. Why are you laughing, man?
It's because you're a rapper.
Yeah, I rap presents.
First of all, it's
not very well.
It's do-rag history month. So,
are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah, it's time for you to put your do-rag on, my guy.
If where do I'm about to sound so mayonnaise American when I ask this. Where do I buy one?
A hair store or a Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find.
All right.
I'll see just because you got me on two predictions. So,
and I try not to be right, but I have such an eye for patterns. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, like, when I watch movies, I love it when the pattern shifts and I'm unable to figure it out.
Me too.
Yeah.
Black Phone 2 was pretty good about that, I thought. Anyway,
It was great.
it's a great
Black
movie.
Phone 2 was a great movie.
I've delayed all the story, but we got snowed in and we watched it. Great movie.
Yeah.
What would you rate it?
Snowed in again.
Out of 5. I got 4 out of 5 from Miss Country Nerd. So
Yeah, I
we'll
think I
take
gave it an A plus, A double plus, I think, on the
that's
channel.
what's
Yeah.
I'd like to close with this.
Close, sir.
Mark Henry didn't become great overnight. He survived being rushed. He survived almost being fired. And when he finally figured it out, he became one of the most believable monsters that WWE has ever had work for them.
Right.
He is a symbol of excellence in this business. And I'm so glad we were able to start Black History Month, start talking about Mark Henry.
Same here, man. I appreciate you for doing this series too on TikTok. So for those of you all who are not on TikTok, sign on just for this guy at the Country Nerd. He is an author. He is a nerd of all things. He is a pretty face, a great bald head that's shiny, and a teddy bear, an awesome person that you want in your corner. So check him out on all of his socials, but especially on TikTok. This guy works really, really hard on his TikTok. He's posting daily. He's very consistent, and I'm very proud of my brother.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well,
Also, you need to follow Mr. Bossa Nova because my man's got great music, funny clips, because he did an Oprah thing at the Rumble. It had my sides splitting. Follow him on the Insta, on the Facebook, all the socials there. Also, while you're doing that, just look up the Wrassle Twins. We're on all the socials. We're on X, but I haven't used that since we started it because it's just not my thing.
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Mine
If you ever message anybody on our socials, you're talking to me. We're working on some stuff behind the scenes. The diligent one, Corey Dillinger, we're going to try and get him on eventually in the next little bit. Me and Joe got to set up when we can do that. But we're looking forward to all these great projects, man. All of it is because we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us, listening to us talk. We're just a couple of dudes that love wrestling. That's all it is. It's not wrestling. It's wrestling. So if you love wrestling too, come hang out with us every week and we'll try to give you our best.
Yeah, for real.
With a
And
smile.
y'all are our friends, man. We like making new friends.
We do. Made a few of them at WrestleCade and RWA and a few other places we've been. Who knows? Your local independent company might have us one day.
Yeah.
You never
I
know.
want to go. I want to be there.
I want to be there. Give us a headset. We'll call all the matches too.
Heck yeah.
That said, guys, I want to thank you guys very much for being a part of this journey. We're going to keep on rolling. You know what? I'm going to let you guys be surprised on who we discuss next week because we're going to talk about it and see which one we want to do instead. So, with all that said, man, thank you guys very much.
Appreciate
Love you guys.
Love you.
Have
Have a
a
fantastic day, baby.
love y'all. Peace.
Peace.